Hello, welcome back to Cracking a Cryptic on another steaming hot day. Now, we have made the GCHQ, we've taken a chance, we've made the GCHQ video on the main channel. It's anyone can see it, no paywall. GCHQ never objected. We notified them that we were putting it up on Patreon and might put it on the main channel. They haven't said no. It's from they have a puzzle society there called Cryptos, who issue a Christmas quiz with some very hard puzzle hunt style questions. And this is one that was voted Puzzle of the Year by that society by a man known only as Colin. And Simon has solved it in what might be record time. I don't know. I mean, you can watch the video and think it's taking a while, but if you had a go at the puzzle first, and I did, you would know that it's incredibly hard. So Simon solves GCHQ. If you joined us on Patreon and you go, oh, you know, was that all I get? No, it's not. You get me solving Saber's Listener recently, which is an absolute tour de force as well. A very hard cryptic crossword with an extraordinary payoff and denouement. Do check that out. I mean, it's a brilliant puzzle, well worth looking at. Obviously, there's past crosswords, the monthly club specials, other listeners. We've also got gridogram and connections videos. There's so much on Patreon. And yet the star content for this month is the Detective Pets Hunt by Panthera and Sandra and Nala. And we urge you to give it a go. Help the pets solve the mystery. If you send in your answer and it's correct, you will get mentioned in a post on Patreon, and you will be in the draw for the prize of solving a video in collaboration with Simon. And a chap called Mark, who did this, is already in a video on the channel from last week. He solved last month's Sudoku hunt. He took the prize of collaborating on a video with Simon. He did a fantastic job with the puzzle. And that's on our main channel too, so check that out. I mean, so much content. As well as all that, we do crossword masterclasses on Friday. We do minute cryptic and wordle in a minute every day, 2 Sudoku videos a day, and streaming each week. So much content going on the channel. I literally don't know how to keep up with it, and I have to be finished and out of the house in a couple of hours. So I'm hoping that the very welcome return of the great puzzle master Ard van der Wettering is not going to coincide with him producing one of the hardest puzzles he's ever done for this slot. I haven't mentioned the apps, which feature line Sudoku, classic Sudoku to the Worms. I haven't mentioned our merch, which features mugs and the like, and this t-shirt, Cracking the Cryptic. I hope you can see that. Maybe you can't. Maybe I should stand up. There we go. Anyway, do check it all out. It's great fun. Let's have a look at Ard's puzzle. Ard is an octogenarian puzzle master from the Netherlands, an absolute genius. And he normally gives us at least 3 given digits, but we only get 2 today. The puzzle, however, is called Increasing Differences, and the rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. Along the marked diagonals, the differences between neighbouring digits increase from left to right such that the difference of the first pair is 1. So the difference of those digits will be 1. Of the second pair, the difference will be 2. Of the third pair, the difference will be 3, etc. So 4 as the difference, 5 as the difference, 6 looks like the maximum difference. That doesn't sound too hard a rule set. And that this will now get disproved by the video length and my efforts scrambling around to try and solve it. But let's get cracking. Here we go. So okay, I moaned about the paucity of given digits, but they're both on lines, so that probably makes up for it. 2 here, the difference between those 2 is 1, so that digit is 1 or 3. Then the difference between these 2 is 2. Well, this can't be 0, so it must be 4. That's virtually a given digit. Then the difference is 3. Now there is a sort of branching. I don't want to call it a bifurcation. It's a rude word in some circles. So 1 or 7 there. And then a difference of 4 will get us to either a 5 or a 3 at the top of the line. And that must be right. So the given digit was very helpful, I think, there. Now this 4, well, we're going to get 3 or 5 there, and that's a little pair looking at each other up and down the length of the column. The 4 is going to go to a 6 or a 2 with its difference of 2. That has a difference of 3. Now we're trifurcating into a 3, 5 or 9. Then there's a difference of 4 into 5, 1, 9 or 7. And that is what has finally enabled me to notice that the parities of the candidates are always the same. That 1, 3, they're both odd. All of these are definitely odd. Those are odd, and that one's even. And I think that, well, once we get one digit on a line, that's going to be a consistent theme. Now, I don't think this line is valuable to consider. Even the 4 doesn't really help, and this line less so with the optionality of digits there. So we're going to have to look at the long lines, which have differences of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now 6 is where it gets interesting. These pairs at the end of the line can't include 4 or 5. So if I was a mad pencil marker, I would write them in as containing digits from 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. And then the next digit down the next pair down has a difference of 5. And that stops this being 9, since we know that this digit can't be 4. And if that can't be 9, this one isn't 3. These are always a pair. They're either an 8-2 pair, a 1-7 pair, or a 9-3 pair. So do we pencil mark this digit, or am I going mad? This is, oh no, it's not mad, because there can only be one alternative for each of these possibilities. And they're 5 away, so 6, 7 or 8, 2 or 3, depending on which of these digits in ascending order we're getting. Then the trouble is we're 4 away here, and that could be, well, that rules out 6 from this cell. So maybe this is a way to go about the puzzle. 6 can't be there because this digit would have to be 2, and that would be a clash. If 6 can't be there, this can't be 1, and if that can't be 1, this can't be 7. I'm trying to keep these differences in my head of 5 as the difference between those two and 6 as the difference between those. So 4 is the difference down here. So this is now, there is only one possibility for each of these candidates. And therefore this is either 4, 3, I've just thought of something else, 7 or 6. The thing I've just thought of is that 3-5 pair that we found. That's going to stop this digit in column 5 being a 3. And that means this can't be 7, that this can't be 8, and that means this can't be 2. So we really are beginning to narrow down. Now, the trouble is, as we come down the line, the possibilities grow each time. So a difference of 3 from 3, 4 or 6. Well, from 3 or 6, we're going to get 6, 3, 9. This is like a modulo puzzle. From 4, we would get 1 or 7. So I've now branched from 3 digits into a possible 5 there. Then all I know is we're continuing the parity here. Oh, no, there is something to learn. This digit can't be a 1 because that would be a 3 given the difference of 2. And if you put 1 and 3 there, you break this cell. So that's quite interesting. So it can't be a 1. Now that doesn't mean this can't be a 4, because that could lead to this being 7. So maybe that's not going to help. If that's a 3, this has to be 5 for the reasons I was just explaining. If it's a 6, we're looking at 4 or 8. If it's a 7, we're looking at 5 or 9. Or if it's a 9, we're looking at 7. And then 1 away from that, and I don't care to pencil mark that. There are too many possibilities. Next, I am going to try moving on to this line. And if you see another way to go about this puzzle that doesn't involve pencil marking cells, considering possible differences and so on, please tell me in the comments. I'd be fascinated. Now, we're 5 away from that one in this cell. So 6, 7 or 8, 3 or 4. No, 2, 3 or 4. Sorry. There are 6 possibilities here. 2, 3 or 4, 6, 7, 8. Then we're 4 away here. Each of those only generates 1 possibility since none of them are 5. 6, 7, 8, 2, 3 or 4. Weirdly, the same possibilities as there. Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, we know that 4 says this can't be 4. So then that can't be 8, this can't be 3, this can't be 9. And at least we've narrowed them a bit. Oh, and look, 2 is looking at that cell. So if that can't be 2, this can't be 8. This can't be 7, 5 away from the 2. And if that can't be 7, 4 away from that is 3 that we removed from there. I don't know, this isn't getting easier. And now we're going to go to some wilder possibilities. 2 would force this to be 5, which is not allowed by the 3-5 pair. So now I've eliminated 2. This is good. And that eliminates 6, 1, 7 as we go up the line. And we now know this is low and this is high. And this is low. And this is high. 6, 7, or 8. This is 3 away from that, not 4. Oh, well, this can't be 7 anymore because this would be 4 and that's a clash. And it can't be 8 because this would be 5 and that's been forced out by the 3-5 pair. So this digit is 6 and we've got a second placed digit in the puzzle after 7 minutes. Oh, that's not bad. It felt like a lot longer had gone by. However, from that 6 going down, difference of 3. Ah, yes, I was going to say 3 or 9, but I've forgotten about the 3-5 pair again. This is 9. Difference of 2 gives 7. Difference of 1 gives 6 or 8. Going up the line, I think we can name all these digits. Difference of 2, 3, 4, 4 is a 2. Difference of 5 is a 7. Difference of 6 is a 1. Now, this cell now sees 1 and 7. And we can eliminate those. This is now 5 or 9 with a difference of 4 to this cell, which is now also 5 or 9. Why can't it be 1? Because that would be 4 and that would fail. That's why. Okay. So we've got a 5-9 pair here. 5 or 9 there and a difference of 3. Oh, well, 2 is looking at that cell. So that's a 6. That's a 9, that's a 5, doesn't solve this. Let's look across the grid. This can't be 9. No, let's look up the grid from that 7 first. That's a 1, that's 4 away from 5. That gives us 3 at the bottom, and they're resolved now. Now, it is this one. It can't be 9. Does that mean this can't be 7? No. Because if that was 5, this could be 7. So that didn't eliminate anything else. Please don't tell me I have to move on to the small lines, which have so many possibilities, but maybe I do. Is there other Sudoku going on that I can't see? There probably is. I mean, we've placed a lot of digits. I'm not going to blame myself if I don't spot something resulting from that. I mean, interestingly, we could do corner mark Sudoku now, where we put a digit in the corner of a couple of cells or 3 cells if we know it's confined to those cells within the box. So 2 in row 4 is there, 2 in row 5 is there, 2 in row 6 must be in this box, in one of those 2. I mean, I can see some weird diagonal offset things. One of those 2 has to be 4, because it's not all of those cells are ruled out by these 2 4s. There's a 1 somewhere up here. Let's just do this for a while. Oh, 6 is actually in the same box as this 6. That could be more significant. So as we move up the line, we've got a difference of 4. This can't be 2 anymore. This can't be 7. And this can't be 1. So now we know we're going high, low, high, low. Well, this is 3 different from that. So why have I ruled out 1 here? Because that would be 3 and break that. And that's fair enough. Okay, this is now 6 or 7. This is 2 different from that. So 4, 8 or 5, not 7. At least I got 1 digit out of there. Then this is 1 away from that. Is that worth pencil marking now? 3, 4, 5 or 7. We're down to 4 digits. I mean, that's something. Now, where did I get to on the pencil marking exercises? One of those two is a 6. One of those two is a 6. It's not that strongly powerful, is it? I might have to start considering this box. At least I have a 6 there. I don't know, it's not easy to do this. Oh, well, this digit sees 7, 9, 4 and 6. So, in theory, 1, 2, 3, 5 or 8. It can't be 1 because this digit would have to be 2 and it can't be. If it was 2, this would be 1 and this would be 4. That works. If this was 3, this would be 4. Ah, that can't be 1 or 5, so I can rule out 3. If this was 5, this would be 7 or 3. This would be 4 or 6. If this was 8, this would be 7 or 9. This would have to be 6. That can't work. We're down to 2 or 5 for that. This is 1, 3, 4 or 6. I can rule out 3 and 6. So that's 1 or 4. At this end, we're 2 away from that. This is 4 or 3 or 7. Well, that was a bit better than I'd expected. So let's try it up here. This digit can't be 2, 4 or 1. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This has to be 2 away. 7, 6, not 5, 9, not 4, 8, 7 or 3 or 5, not 5 because of this. That's far too much. Well, not 1 anyway. Why can't it be 1? Just because I'm wrong. It could be 1. I just can't pencil mark that. It's too difficult. It's too many possibilities. I'm going to have to achieve some Sudoku. I realize that. I just don't know how to do it. Oh, maybe we have to think about juxtaposed possibilities here. If that was a 7, this would be 7 by Sudoku, and that would be 6. They do go together on the line, though. 6, 3, 7. That's fine. But there might be ramifications of one digit that pushes something else somewhere along the line that by a kind of concatenation of Sudoku fails. So we might have to consider that kind of possibility, as complicated as it sounds. I did not like this line. It did not seem helpful. So I've got to do something with this line, maybe. If this was a 3, we'd be going 4, 6, 3 again. 7, 2, 8. So if this was a 3, that would be a 3. Now, what would that do for 3s in this world? I don't know. I don't think we've got enough pencil marking to make anything like that a huge problem. Okay, let's think about the central column. 5, 9, 3. Oh, we need a 6 in this central column. That is either here or here. Oh, I mean, there's an alternative consideration. If that digit was a 4, this would have to be a 4 by Sudoku in the central column. Let's just think about that. If this was a 4, we'd be going to 8 and 3 here. Seven there. Oh, well, this is quite interesting. If this was a 7, we've got an interesting Sudoku consideration. We'd definitely have a 7 here, and therefore 2 here. And 7 there would force 8 here. Actually, that's fine on the line. 7, 4, 8. Oh, this is worth thinking about though. 7 here would force 7 in row 6 here, and then that would be 2. And this would be 8. We'd have 5, 8, 7, 9, 3 in this column. 4, 6. Ah, that's bizarre. Right, I'll show you why 7 here fails. It's beautiful, actually. I'm going to do this. I mean, if I was putting in the numbers to see how this fails, it would be bifurcation. It's not, because I can see that 7 in this cell forces there to be nowhere for 2 in the central column. Let me explain. If that was 7, then the next 2 cells along the line are 4 and 8. Don't need any more than that. The 4 in this central column would be there, and that determines where the 6 would be. Meanwhile, the 7 has been forced into this cell and the 2 there, and now these digits aren't allowed to be 2, 1 because of 2's. So that digit I started with cannot be 7, that must be 6. And that means we get 6 over here done. This digit becomes an 8. All sorts of things are happening now, including, obviously, populating almost all of this line, I imagine. So that becomes a 3, that becomes a 7, this becomes a 2, that becomes an 8. Before the 6, we've got a difference of 2, still 4 or 8. This must now be odd, 3, 5 or 7. So we didn't populate all of the line, but we did populate this end of it. Now, looking down the central column again, 5, 7, 9, 3. Okay, I don't know where things fall, but 3 there and 3 there gives us 3 in one of these cells. 7, 9, 4, 3. We've got 6 already confined here. That's 6. No, we've done 6s in the rows. Oh, I thought it was more helpful. I may have missed something. 6 in one of those cells. All of these digits went in. It must do something. 7 there and 7 there gives us a 7 in the central box. That means one of these 2 is 7 in row 6. 5 in the central box is now in one of those 2 corners of it. Wow, we are not done, but we are moving forward. Classic ARD gives you a little, but you still have to work out the rest for yourself. 3, 7, 6, 2 and 5. 9 is in one of those 3. These are from 1, 4, 8. That's definitely not resolved. This digit hasn't narrowed at all. What about this digit? Can't be 4, 5, 6, 8 now. 1, 2, 3, 7, 9. This is 2 away from that. So 3, 4 is impossible, so get rid of 2. Oh, these are all odd. So this is also all odd now, and it can't be 1. 3, 5, 7 or 9. This is now definitely even and can't be 4. So we'll say 2, 6 or 8. Well, that was a little progress, maybe? Maybe not. 5, 1, 2, 7, 4, 3. This is 6, 8 or 9. 9 would in some ways be the most useful of those. Oh, this box, 2, 7, 6, 5, 9. 8 is now in one of those 2. And that leaves a 1. Oh no, this digit is 1 or 4 by Sudoku, and that's a pair. And this one becomes a naked single 3. It sees everything else, including that 1, 4 pair in its column. In its row, column and box, it sees everything but 3. So that's what it is. Now, 3 there, and one of these 2 is 3. Quite likely to be here. These are from 1, 4, 8. The 5. I didn't get anything else. 8, 1. We've got a 7 still to place in box 3. Oh, that 1, 4 pair. What have we got in this column? A 7. must be here in column 7. And the other 2 digits are 5 or 9. That 7 is going to force one of these top 3 to be 7. As we know, one of them is 1 already. One of these 2 digits is a 7 in column 9. Again, still having to tease out every little bit of data from the puzzle. 1, 7, 8, 9. I suspect I'm being a little bit slow to see the next step. It's probably sitting in plain sight somewhere. This line really hasn't been all that helpful. 7943. I'm looking at this box as well. This digit sees 2, 7, 6, 4, 3, 8, and 9. This is either 1 or 5. Now, if that was a 4, no, if that was a 1, this would be 5. That would put 5 here and 2 here. So if that was a 1, this would be 4. We'd also be going 2, 4 here. I don't know, it doesn't kill the beast, does it? Okay, if that was a 4, we'd get a 4 in the corner. So then our 4s would be starting to form. That couldn't be a 4 anymore. One of these 2 would be a 4. That would be a 4 in the column. One of those would be a 4. And that didn't yield an answer. Okay, this digit can't be a 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, or 9. It's an odd digit. It's 1, 5, or 7. Oh, where is 2 in this column? It's pencil marked to not be in those cells. It can't be in this box. It's not there or there, and it's not here by Sudoku. So 2 in this column is in one of those 2. 2 in column 1 is in one of those 2. Again, that feels like it's close to giving me real go forward, but it hasn't quite done it. I don't think we need much more, but we need a bit more to finish off this puzzle. You can shout at the screen if I'm just missing something completely basic and just not seeing it. This digit is not allowed to be a 7 by Sudoku anymore. That hasn't changed the possibilities here, and it takes 9 only out of that one, I think. Although actually this can't be 3 either. This is now 2 away from that, so it has to be 1 or 7. No, I'm wrong. It can be 3. Sorry. If that's a 5, that could be 3. This would then be going 6, 5, 3. Is there a problem with that? Nearly. This digit is already not 4, 6, 8, 1, 2, or 7. This is 3, 5, or 9. So if that went 6, 5, 3, this is a 9. Then 2's forced into the corner. Oh, then we can't get 1 and 7 into the top row. If this started with a 6, it would have to go 5. Oh, it doesn't have to go 3. On the other hand, if it finishes with a 3, that must be a 5 and that must be a 6. And then 2 goes there and we can't get 1 and 7 into the top row. So that's not a 3. That is 1 or 7. And that's quite a hard won conclusion. And I don't think it's really going to do much. But does it stop one of these digits? No, it doesn't. These are both from 3, 5, 9. What about this? Can't be 4, 1, 2, 7. But it could be 8 or 6. It's very different from those 2 cells. Wow, I'm finding this tricky. This digit, this digit can't be any of the even digits again. 4, 2, 6, 8, 3 or 7. This is 1, 5 or 9. Am I not forming a quad? No, I'm not. Nearly, obviously, but not quite. So let's have another think about this being 5. What good is that? 5, 1, 2, 7. We need a 3 in one of those, 4 in one of these, 6 can't be there and must be in one of these. Oh, 8 in the row is either here or here. Again, it's so promising, and yet it doesn't solve the puzzle. Odds absolutely socked me with this one. Decent progress early on, which I thought was good progress, and then we've just got stalled in a bucket. Right, where's 8 in this column? Either there or there. 8. What would that do? It doesn't really, well, it might make that a 4. If that was 8, this would be a 4. That's not enough. Okay, this digit is 1, 4 or 8 by Sudoku. This one is 4, 8 or 9. Desperately trying to form a triple or a quad, but given that that's got all 5 possibilities in it, we know that one of those is a 3. That's not getting it resolved. Is there one cell in this puzzle that just solves and finishes a line? Oh my goodness, there probably is. Let's try it again. If this was 1, if this was 1, this would have to go 3, 2. Now, what are the effects of that? This would be a 5, 7, 9 triple. That would be a 2, 3 pair. So if this went 1, 3, 2, what else would that yield? 5, 7, 9 triple. I can't see. 3, 7, 6. There's a 2. No, I don't know. Let's go back to, if that was a 2, that would force 5 here. One of these 2 would be 5. That would become 1. 2 there would become 1 here in a lyric the Spice Girls thought about and rejected. 4, 5, 3 or 7. Okay, if this was 1, this would go 1, 2, 4. That would require 2 4s in these positions. Then we'd have a 4 here. We know one of the 4s in the grid already, 2 of them. I don't know, these differences are just not enough to be useful. If that was a 9, this would go 7, 9, 8. That would be 2 and 1. 2, 1, 7, 9, 8. Yeah, for this to be a 2 at all, that's a 1, 7 pair. Then this is 6 or 8, making this 5 or 9 and this 7. So if that's a 2, this then goes 2, 1, 7. Now that puts a 7 here. That makes this 3 or 5, and that definitely makes this 4. I'm so sorry. 3, 7, 6, 5, 9. These are from 1, 2, 4, 8. With 9 and 5 having to be confined outside. So one of these 2 is definitely a 9. I haven't particularly observed that before. This can't be a 9. I don't think that's a particularly useful pair to show that one is a 9 and one isn't. So is it 7? If that was a 7, this would go 7, 5, 4. that digit would be 9. 75496. That would be a 1-2 pair. Ah, I've found something about this. If that's a 1, this is a 5. If this is a 4, this is 5, and this is... Oh, not necessarily 7. If that's 4, that's 5, and that's 9. 4, 5, 9, 6. 3, 8. Oh, I thought I'd found something, but the possibility of 4, 5, 3 has scuppered it. I thought this couldn't be a 1. If that was a 1, then we are going 4, 5 here. Then that's 9. That would be 1. 4, 5, 9, 1. That would have to be a 2, 7 pair. 2, 7, 8, 3. So we'd have 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 9, 2. I mean, I can see all of that, and it doesn't quite solve the puzzle. Wow, I'm finding this very difficult, as you can see. Okay, either that's a 5, or if it's a 9, no, that doesn't force this pair. Thought maybe I could confine 5, but no such luck. Okay, we still have to go on looking. This digit is 1 or 5. That feels like it's significant. If it's 5, that's 2. If this is 1, that's 4, that's 5. So either this is 5 or that's 5, and in both cases that's not 5, but we already knew that from the digit at the top of the grid. Okay, here's another way of looking at that. Either that's 5, or if it's 1, that's 5, so neither of these can be 5. And now none of these cells can be 5, and 5 is at least confined to those 3 in this box. I mean, it's a minor victory, but it's something. Again, we just have to keep looking for how to solve the puzzles. And waiting till we stumble on something quite neat. That's basically my modus operandi at this point, is stumbling around in the dark or stumbling on something clever. Right, if that's 2, this is a 1, 7 pair. If that's 2, this is 3, and that's 1. So 1 can never be in this cell, because either that's 2, 3, 1, or that's 2, and this is a 1, 7 pair. Okay, so we've reduced 1 to one of those 2. Again, tiny minor victory. It's not going to do anything, but you never know. 2, 3, 1. These would be from 6, 7, 9. That couldn't be 3 anymore. 3 would be in one of these. 8, 2, 3, 6, 1. That would have to be 7. Just can't rule it out. Okay, let's try and rule out 8 from here. 8, 9, 7 on this line. Then 2, 1. We've already had 4. Everything else would be 3, 5, or 6 in the box. I jolly well don't know. My, this isn't easy. 5 in this box can't be there. It's in one of the corner cells. It's not info, it's just speculation. 871, right, 9 in the top boxes. 9's in one of those. Oh, this can't be 1. That's been blindingly obvious for a long time. Okay, so we should think about this. Oh, look, that's a 4-8 pair that I've never noticed. 4-8 pair, 639, 2 in one of those. This is 1, 5, or 7. Now, what of it? What of it? The other one from 1, 5, or 7 is in one of these cells. One of these two has to be a 7. I've marked that already. But they're both from 157. That feels like it's at least something. This 4-8 pair. If this was a 4, that would be a 1. This would be an 8. And this would have to be a 7 then. If this is an 8, that's then a 7. Got 4 here. 8, 7, 6, 3, 9, 4. We've got 1, 2, 5 left to put in the row. No, I mean, at least I'm looking at something that is a bit different from the only things I've been looking at before. If this was 4, that's 8. I think that's the open-ended one. It's much harder if this is 8, because then we know this digit is 7, and that's 4. Oh, and this would be 7. This would be seeing 4 and 7 and would have to be 3. Right, if that's 8, 7, 4, 3, 5, 4 again. So we'd be having 4s in both of those cells. 4, 5, 3, that would be 9. Oh, there'd be a lot going on. There'd be a lot. How can I work out where it breaks? Please break somewhere. If this was 8, that would be 4. This would be 7, so this would have to be 3. 3, 5, 4 would go on here with a 9 there. 7 in the corner. There'd be a 1 in one of these cells, and that would be a 1. Just trying to work out what that means for me. Ah, it's close. This is close. This is probably going to do something somehow, somewhere. Oh, we'd also have 7. Right, if that was 8, where's 8 in the final column then? Because 7 would have got forced down to here. We'd be going 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 9, 2. That would put 2 on the line in box 1, along with 3 and 1. I mean, it's a real look ahead. Oh, do excuse me, sorry. It's a real look ahead, but it does seem possible as well. I can't work that out. Ah, it's so close to breaking. If this was 8, that becomes 7, that becomes 7, that becomes 7. Oh, then this has to be 1, 3, 2 now. I think that fitted in annoyingly with what I was going with. This would become 3. I mean, nothing I can see looking ahead breaks if that's 8. So maybe I've got it the wrong way around. If that's 4, oh, that puts 4 in the corner. And then now this would be 8 here. And this would have to be 1. So this would be going 1, 2, 4. If this is 4, we get 4 in the corner, 4 here on this line. We've already got a couple of 4s in the grid. We'd get another one here, but in box 3 it would be there, so we'd be finding all the 4s. We would have been placing them all in these positions if that's a 4 in row 6, column 2. Now, what else would that lead to? That would lead to, well, 4 there and 4 in the middle would lead to 8 here and 1 in row 5, column 8, and therefore this digit at the beginning of the 5 cell line would be a 3. Now, would that have to be the same if it was 8? No. Or maybe 8, 7, 4, 3. I don't know quite. It's so close to being powerful and decisive. So now I'm distrusting the possibility of 4 here, which leads to 3 or 5 there. That's too open-ended, but it does lead to 4 here. 8 here leads to 8 very specifically here. And that would make this 8, which would make this 6. Then we'd have 1, 2, 4 here. Wow, I mean, this is very hard to look ahead through. One of these will fail. One of these 4-8 combinations will fail, and it will fail relatively simply if you just look at the 2 moves ahead that you need to see. But I keep looking at the wrong moves, I think. I think that's what's going on. I mean, here's an interesting thing. If that's 2, that's 2, that's 2, that's 2. Then we've placed 6 in box 8, which I hadn't considered before. Then I've got an extraordinary 1, 4, 8 triple in the central column. So that's quite interesting. That all stems from this being a 2, which would also make this a 1. So that being a 2 makes this a 2, makes this a 2. And this would be 5. That would have to be... Oh, hang on. No, that would be 6, wouldn't it? That would be 8 and 1. Oh, we would get everything kind of filled in. This is maybe the most powerful version that we've had. 2 here makes that 1, which makes that 5. But the 2 there requires the 2 in row 9 to be here. And that pushes a 6 into this cell. This might be the best and most strong lead that we've actually had on the puzzle. I don't know. I couldn't see how it dealt with anything. I could suddenly see that cell is 1, 5, or 8 by my old friend Sudoku. This one is 3 or 9. Nothing else is possible there. If it's 9, that digit is 3. 9, 2, 3, 7, 6, 4. Then I'm left with a 1, 5, 8 triple. That doesn't look or feel particularly helpful. Oh, if this is a 1, that's got to be 1. Then in column 7, that has to be 1. That's a 1. One of those, one of those. We've obviously got 1s already regularly in the grid. No, it doesn't break. In fact, it's welcomed. No, I'm sorry. I just cannot see it, Odd. You've stymied me here. It's a clever puzzle, but it's very difficult to... I mean, I've done most of these lines. I've got little bits of lines left to do. Okay, let's just refocus. Try and rethink this from scratch somehow. Have I just blown a line really badly, marked it wrong or something? 4/8 pair. These don't have 7 in, so they're from 1 to 5. And that one can't be 1, and this one can't be 5. These are much more restricted than I'd realised. Why haven't I focused on that? I don't know. 4 in column 4 is in one of those two cells. So maybe that informs the 4/8 decision in row 6 somehow. 1, 3, 7. There's also a 9. If that was 9, that would have to be 9. Now, does anything ramify from that information? No is the simple answer. It just doesn't. It just doesn't give up any goods at all. Right, let's go back to these being quite restrained. 3, 7, 6. 2 is in one of those with 1 or 5. The other of which goes with 7 in one of these. Oh, this is frustrating. I cannot get through the puzzle. I cannot see what I meant to see. This digit sees 1, 2, 7, 8, 6, 5. This is 3, 4, or 9. If it was not 4, that's a 3, 5, 9 triple. Interesting. If it was 4, that would be 4 in row 6. Okay, let's just ponder this. That would be 4 in box 2. One of those would be 4. One of those would be 4. Oh, now I tell you why that's quite interesting. I have just discovered that one of these two is 4. This has been available forever. If that's a 1, that's 2 and that's 4. Otherwise, this is 4. So one of these two on the end of this line is definitely 4. Now, how are we going to use that? It means if that's 4, that's also 4. Then we get a lot of the 4s in the grid if row 4 column 7 rather is a 4. We get all kinds of restrictions on 4s. And the alternative in column 7 is that this one is a 4. Then we've got 4 there and definitely 4 here. Oh, so now 4 is confined to only 2 places in box 2. Is that seems to be right. Yeah, I think it is right. Could that be 4? No, that would kill 4 in box 9. That's probably quite significant. But I don't know what else it does. It's doing something. 8, 2, 4. So it does seem to be the even digits that are getting heavily restricted here. If this was 4, That's 8. This is the less appealing. Oh, well, I don't know. It was briefly less appealing. No, if that's a 4, you get 4 here, and you definitely get 4 there. Right, 4 there gives you 1 here, which gives you 4 there. Does 4 here choose which of these cells is a 4? Then we're going 4, 5, 3 or 7. We've got a 9 there. We get a 5 here. I don't think that's going to resolve itself. And that is mighty, mighty frustrating. Wow. I mean, I don't think I've approached the puzzle wrongly. I just can't see the thing that allows me to solve it. That's the only problem. And there must be something. Oh, look, if that was a 3, this would be 3 in row 8. Haven't seen that information before. That would be 3. That would be 3. Then we'd have 2 positions possible in boxes 2 and 3. But we'd also know that would be 4, that would be 8. Goodness me, it doesn't quite resolve, despite again threatening to. I do apologise. You come here to watch a solution and I'm providing you with just more and more questions every time. 2, 6, 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 7, 9. 3 is definitely in one of those 2 cells. So if that was a 3, this would be 1, and this would have to be 5 or 9, making that 7. And that would make this 1. So if this was a 3, we'd have 1s in both of those positions. Now this would become a 1-2 pair. I can look forward and see quite a lot happening in box 4 as a result of that. But is it enough to change the face of the puzzle? Probably not. Well, I mean, here's another way of looking at this. If that's a 5, the 5 in box 5 has to be there. Then we get a 1-7 pair here, which resolves this as a 3. And this becomes 5 or 7. What was this based on? A 5. I can't even remember where we started with that. It was quite powerful, though. Was it this became a 1-5 pair if that was, if there was no 1 here? No, this can't be a 1-5 pair. This is a 1-7 pair. This was if that was a 5. And if it's not a 5, if it's a 1, that's a 4 and that's a 5. So one of these two, at least, is a 5. I've looked at that before, but it... Okay, so if that's a 5, that's a 5. So at least one of these two is a 5. I mean, this is worth giving a bit of thought to, just to see if there is... Yeah, so if this is a 5 down here, that's a 5. So now one of these two is a 5. And if I can just keep this going until something gets actually proved that's really useful from it, then huzzah. I think we're running out of information though. It's a shame because that felt like a powerful chain finally, a powerful chain. Then we'd have definitely got 5 in one of those 2 cells. But once you start spreading out the ramifications, then it's much harder to see where the twigs are pointing. I'm sorry, this is proving exceptionally difficult to find a way through. I really did just want to sail through, knock it off, and enjoy myself. But now I'm just really feeling like a failure. This digit is 1, 4, or 8 by Sudoku, along with that. 5, 7, 9, 3, 4 in this, well, not 4 in this column. 4 either there or in one of these. If that was a 1, 8 pair, 2, 4, 6. Then you'd have 5 and 4 here. I'm sorry, there just doesn't seem to be an easy way through this. If that was a 5, 7 pair, these would be 2 and 1. That would be a definite 4, 8. 1, 4, 8. That would be 2. Oh, that's quite interesting. 2 is in one of these cells in column 5 already. If it's here, this digit is 5. If it's here, this digit is 5. So here we are again with 5s. This might be exactly what I saw a moment ago. One of these 2 is a 5. At least one of them. Could be both. Now that's the same, again, as saying that one of these 2 is a 5. I don't think this is different from what I was looking at before. I think it's effectively the same, started from a different angle. That's a great shame. One of these 2 is a 2 though. Let's try and focus on that. If that digit was a 2, that one also has to be a 2 by that reckoning. Then we're getting 2s in these positions. Then one of these 2 is a 2. We know that one is already a 2. That corner would have to be a 2. That would have to be a 2. Now we'd have 2s on both these corner lines. And maybe they would produce some kind of bizarre impossibility between them. Oh, do you know what? That's close. If these both were 2s, that would be 3 and that would be 4. And this digit would have to be 9. Making that necessarily 5. Right. Oh, that would nearly break. That would nearly break, but not quite. So somehow I worked out that for... Yeah, if this digit were 2, the 2 in row 3 would have to be here. I mean, that is fact. Then you'd get a 3 on the top line and a 4 on the bottom line, and this digit would incredibly become a 9. And this would become a 5. And this would become a 9. And the only place for 5 in this box now would be here, where I'm afraid it could escape to. So we'd now have 5s in these positions. And that's just not enabling me to solve the puzzle. We'd have a 5 in one of those somewhere over there. Oh, it's really interesting though that those 2 would have to be 2s together. Oh, have I just discovered something? I've just discovered something. Right. If this, okay, this will do it. It's incredibly hard. And it's taken what? The last half hour to get to this, but here we go. This digit, pink here, if that was a 2, the 2 in this row would have to be here. That would make this a 3, and this would be a 4. That would be a 9, and this yellow would be a 5. If this digit in pink was a 5, where does 5 go in box 3? That is the only place. So this yellow digit is always a 5. And that is one of the hardest deductions I've ever made in an Aardvarendering puzzle. Right, that makes this digit a 9. Let's hope this does some work towards solving the whole puzzle. Because it may not, but my goodness, that was a hard step to take. Right, 9 is now in one of those cells in the bottom row. Do you know what? I don't think this is going to do enough, but let's not, nil desperandum, nil carborundum. Don't let the bees grind you down, as Winston Churchill said. Right, one of these is a 5 now. What good is that to me? Not a lot. But maybe something has become impossible about 5. So if this digit was a 5, that would be a 4. I mean, that was such a step. It feels like I really need a reward off that. Okay, hang on. If this is 2, then 2 in this box is in one of those, and that's 5. Otherwise, this is 5. So one of those 2 has to be 5, and now this cell can't be 5. Because one of those 2 has to be 5. And they both look at it. So this digit, not 1, 3, 7, 9, 4 or 6, now we know not 5. This is 2 or 8. If that's 2, oh, then we can't have 2 on the line. On the line in box 9, we're going to have 2 in one of those cells in this circumstance. I'm highlighting 2s. And I've kind of run out now. But that's interesting that if this is 2, this is 2 and that's 5. So if this is 8, if this is 8, that's a 1-5 pair. Then we've got 3, 8, 9 up here. If that's a 1-5 pair, this is 2 and 6. Oh, goodness me. Well, what about this digit? 1, 3, 9, 4, 7, 8. 2, 5 or 6 there. That's slightly more than I was hoping for in terms of limiting the possibilities. I was so pleased to get the yellow digit and it's done nothing. Okay, if this is 2, that's a 2. Then that's the 2 in box 1. Then we get 2 here. 2 there. Let's just keep thinking about this. We get 2 in all of those positions if that occurs. Whereas if it's a 5, that's the bit that doesn't seem... Well, maybe I should think about the other digits, of course. If that's a 5, then this is 4. And then that's 4. And then we get 4 in row 6. And weirdly, we get 4 in box 4, which I hadn't particularly expected from this parameter. But we don't finish off the 4s. Okay, however, if that's 2, that's 4, then we've got 4 in the corner. Then that's 4 as well. Yeah, okay, that's the different. Is that the different circumstance? I can't remember. Let's go through it again. If that was 2, one of those is 2 and that's 2. So these would all be 2 together. 2 in the corner, 2 there. That line would then go 2, 3, 1. Let's bear that in mind. 2 there. 2 here. All the 2s would be done if this was 2 down here. Right, just think it through, Mark. If all of those 2s are done, we'd have 4 on that line in box 9 and 4 in the corner. And that would be 4. Yeah, and the alternative is that not being 4. Oh, bother. That doesn't get it done. Oh, from the heady heights of finding that digit was a 5 to the absolute depths of not knowing what to do with that information in any way whatsoever. Okay, let's go again. With this being 8 makes that 7 and this 4. So that all forces, that being 8, forces this to be 3. And then we've got 5 and 4 done here. 3, 5, 4, 6, 9, 7 in the corner. That's if we start with an 8 on the left of row 6. On the left of row 6. I'm just trying to focus on what that means elsewhere. I think 7s are fine, annoyingly. They just fall out of this without any real difficulty. So, am I just not thinking straight about one digit on one of these lines? That's probably what's going on. If that's 2, that's what forces 2, 3, 1 here. 4, 7, 5, 6, 8, 9. I just don't see how they get disposed in any meaningful way. Oh, well, that 3 there forces 3 here. Then this is a 3-2 pair. And we've got a 2 to deal with. I mean, that's interesting. Well, this digit at the beginning of row 7 would be a 5 or a 7. That doesn't get anything particular resolved further on. Oh, goodness me, why is this so beastly? Why is it so hard? This is 3, 8, or 9. That's not an interesting finding. One of these 2 is 9. That almost might be an interesting finding. If I could say that digit wasn't 9 or neither of these. 9's in one of those 4. That's useless, isn't it? So, well, if 9 was there, this would be a 3-5 pair. The trouble is, I don't know what that makes this digit. It leaves possibilities. Wow, I know I'm not getting anywhere here. This is proving a monstrosity. Ard has absolutely confuzzled me totally. 7, 5, 4 there. That would make this a 7, 9 pair, and that a 4. Oh, 7 there would stop this being a 7. Oh, that's interesting. I've not quite observed that before. 7 there would make this 3 or 5 and that 4, which would make this 8. So if this is a 7, that's an 8. I haven't seen that before specifically. So we'd have 7, 8, 5, 6, 1. 4 here, so that would be a 9, 4 pair. Then we'd have to have 2, 3. So if that's a 7, we're going 2, 3, 7, 8, 5, 6, 1, and a 9, 4 pair. Two, 3, 7 here, 5, 4. This would be a 1, 8 pair, leading to that being a 4, which makes that a 4. 4s then are happening quite well in the puzzle. What did we say? A 9, 4 pair at the top of column 9. So we'd know which way round that went as well. 4 would be there. This seems impossible suddenly. 7 here leads to 8 here and 4 here. But 7 there also leads to 4 here. So we'd have a 4 in those two positions, ruling out the positions for 4 in box 7. So this can't be a 7. That is also pretty wildly difficult. I suppose it's not as difficult as the other step, but I had not looked at it. So 7 is now placed. That is 3 or 4, and that hasn't really, it doesn't mean we know what pink is, but it does mean we get a 7 in the corner. Now we have 7 in one of those 3, and I know that's not going to get anything done either. I know that. I mean, I despise it, but I know it. 7, 5, 6, 1. We still need a 2 in the column. It's either there or there, and it's there if this is 2. Then we've got 4, 8, 5, 6, 1. 3, 9, 2. If that's a 2, this is a 3. And if that's a 5, this is a 3. So one of these two is now a 3. And one of these is a 3, and this digit is not a 3. I mean, it's a tiny, tiny finding, but it's come as a result of getting 7 out of that cell. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of removing 3 from there. These include 3, 6, 7, 9. 5 is down in one of those. What's this? This is not 8, 3, 7, 9, or 6. I mean, yes, okay. It's 1, 2, 4, or 5. That doesn't feel very strong. But let's just think about it, because one of these lines must use 3 of those digits. 1, 2, 4 would make that a 5. Then we'd have 3 here and 8 there. So 1, 2, 4 would put 8 here. 1, 2, 4 would make this a 5. Now 5 here, that would make this cell impossible. 1 there, 2, 4, 5 would give us 1, 5 here, breaking this cell. So that is a 4. This is a 5. This is a 3. Please tell me this is going to help us finish this puzzle at this point. Now, 5 there doesn't do anything. 3 there removes 3 from this cell at least. This is 5 or 7. That's minor because that doesn't change this. This is 2 or 8. This is 1, 2, or 8. And I hate having to put still 3 digits in there when I've just discovered something. 4 there says this isn't 4. And says this is where 4 goes in box 7. That gives us 8 and 4 in row 6. That finishes box 6, a first finished box. That places 8 in box 9. This is now 9 and 2 in the corner. These are a 3, 4, 6 triple. We get rid of 4 there. This has been the most almighty struggle. I get 2 in row 3 out of that. Let's tidy up the pencil mark. This must now be a 3, and this must now be a 1. Keep tidying up the pencil marks. Keep looking for the Sudoku effects. This can't be 3, so we've found 3 in the box. And the lines are all complete. You would think we can finish it by Sudoku now, wouldn't you? This can't be 3 or 9, it's 5. This is now 9, this is 7. 2, 3 pair in the column. That, oh look, this line wasn't finished because I hadn't put the 7 on it. That's fine, it's done now. This can't be 2. This is 8, this is 5. That's 1, that's 6, that's 2. This is a 1, 6 pair. This is a 5, 9 pair. That's not 2. They don't have a 1 in, and this one is a 6. That makes this a 4. And in the row, we just need an 8. Oh, I'm looking down the grid saying, why isn't that fixing anything? This can't be 9 or 8. This can't be 7. That can't be 1. 4 and 8 there make this digit a 9. This one must be known by now. It's not, but this one is in the row, and then that one is. 2 there. This is 5. No, 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 no. It's gone wrong. It's gone wrong. I've got 2 5s in column 6. No, I can't handle it. Let's just go back a bit. Let's just go back a bit to here. I thought this row was, oh, I can't have a 0 there. Let's have a 2 there. Right, let's assume we're right to this point. 1 and 2 there. 8 and 5 in this row. That's a 1. 6 and 2. I haven't done anything different, annoyingly. 1, 6 there, 5, 9 here. Now, 1, 4, 8 and a 6 here, if I'm right. Oh, let's place 8 in box 1. Let's try and do it in a different order at least. 7 in box 1, and there's still a 6, 9 pair left. This digit can't be 4 or 8 or 9, so that's a 1. That's going to leave me 5, 4 here. I'm still going to have this awful problem of putting a 5 in this column where I've just put a 5 below. Maybe that 5 below was missed pencil mark. What if I swap 5 and 8 there? How about that? How about that? Is that a rescue or an absolute fiasco? That's 1, that's 4. This is 6, that's 4. 4. Maybe I'd mispencil mark this cell. That would be such a relief if it was true. 8 and 4 here are working. Okay, this almost looks like it's going to come good. 6 and 9 are in different columns, so 9 and 6 there, then 3 and 6 here, and 3 and 9 here. And I think, let's get rid of that colouring, I think we're there suddenly after 80 minutes of one of the hardest Aard van der Wettering puzzles I've ever done. Okay, well, there we go. What a relief. What an extraordinarily difficult puzzle. What fun to finish, but what a trial in the middle. I'm sorry. I mean, I have no regrets. I have no remorse. Those 2 or 3 steps that I was really struggling with, that was because they were really difficult. No other reason. I mean, if somebody's posting, yeah, did this in 15 minutes, nothing difficult, nice to see a fun puzzle, I'm gonna cry a little bit tonight. Oh my goodness me, that was tough stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry if I was maybe mispencil marking that had a huge effect, but I don't see how that could be. Anyway, there we go. Job done. See you again tomorrow. Do join us then. Bye for now.